Let's first begin with our demonstration. Our first part shows the interface for login. We will log in via Project Manager's account. As soon as we log in, we will see the dashboard, but for now, let's disregard this module and move to the skill gap analysis. Let's first click the Job Selection tab to find the applied positions available. For example, I have chosen a person who applied for the front-end developer. Employees who applied for the job as front-end will be shown on the Candidates tab. Take note that these candidates are not yet considered as Scrum members. As you can see, the Name tab can be able to identify if the person is a Scrum member or not. I have chosen Julius Rosario as my example. When his name is chosen on the Skills Analysis tab, his average on the total of the three parameters set will appear. For example, his proficiency in the designated field is 75. The proficiency with working with a team is 95. And the proficiency in similar projects is 96. When totaled and averaged, it will show 88%. The team has automatically set the parameter that any average above 80% will have a recommendation as consideration to be added as a Scrum team. The bar chart here shows that the corresponding values of the percentage of their applied position. Julius's first applied position is a software tester, and the second is a front-end developer. When you hover your mouse to the bar, it will show the percentage. Moving on, when the button for Add to Team is clicked, employees will automatically be considered as a Scrum member, such as the example of Julius Rosario, and it will prompt a confirmation message that you have added him as a Scrum member. However, if the project manager chooses a name who is already identified as a Scrum member, like for our example, Mr. Aaron Doe, his skill analysis will also be shown with his bar chart, but the button of Add to Team will not show as he is already considered as a Scrum member. Now let's move on to the Create Project and All Projects module. The Create Projects has certain fields which the project manager has to fill up. For example, I will create a project and name it Project X. Its project type as game development, and take note that the selection of the project type will prompt the cost of the project, which will later be explained at the cost module. Let's add our description as a multiplayer game and set the date for October 26, 2021 and its end date to December 31, 2021. The project manager is automatically set as to whoever project manager created the project in their account. Then moving on, we have to pick our respective Scrum members. The group has set the limit to having 9 members per project, and Scrum members have the limit of having 2 projects allocated only. If the project manager tries to exceed in picking more than 9 Scrum members, a sign will show that the value should only have 9 Scrum member names only. I have chosen 5 Scrum members for this project. And moving on to the project link, I will input to where the Google Drive link is. Once we press the Create button, it will prompt on the next module, which is the All Projects module. As you can see from the previous example, it shows some info of our created project. Once you press the project though, it will project all the details. Also, the Scrum members and their time availability. The project manager has the power to edit the project. For example, if I change the due date to January 26 and clicked on Save, it will eventually change the time. In some cases, when projects who are not even at its peak are declining, project managers have to let go of the project, which is why we have an archive option. Take note, once the project is archived, any saved data will disappear. Before you archived, you are given a command to state the reason for archiving. Another option we added is the project can generate its report, but this will be discussed later on. Now moving on at the cost management. Again, at the Create Projects, we were given a selection as to what project type we have to identify our project in. Now take note that this is important that we set a project type since this is linked to the cost management. At first, in the project filter, I would have to find my ready-made project, which is Project X. Once I click my project name, it will display the overall cost, because the project type has a fixed template as to what cost the project is. As you can see in your screens, it shows the milestones, the dates, the quantity, and the cost. The cost management has a breakdown, and this example is the game development breakdown. For example, I chose a project from the project filter with a software development, and this will prompt the software development's breakdown. Take note that the estimation total is taken from the total cost per breakdown, and here is the example of the cost of the website development. Proceeding with our task management module, on your screens are the different assigned tasks to the team at their respective projects. This shows the task name, its description, the team on which the project manager attached the task to, the current status, the end date, and respective time. If I clicked on a project that has tasks, it will prompt its data. The project manager also can edit a task but cannot edit the set project name. I will then add a task. I will input my project name and give the task name. Set the start time and the end time as well as the due date. The file that client normally uploads is the set of instructions of the project. I will then add the description of the task. Once done, it will also be added to the tasks. Take note that tasks cannot be archived individually but only when projects are archived by the project manager. The risk management shows risk within the given project. You'll see the risk event, the project, its impact, and its likelihood. Take note the risk score equation is taken from the summation of the risk impact and likelihood. In this example, I have the risk event as unable to catch 4-digit PIN. Its project title is a finger-based system, its impact, and its likelihood, generating its risk score. The risk trigger is the basis of the risk, and of course, the possible solutions to the risk. Remind you that the risk owner is the project manager. Let's create our own risk. I'll put glitch are appearing in the risk event. I'll then specify the impact and its likelihood, as well as the cause or risk trigger. The owner is solely fixed to the current project manager. Once added to risk, it will prompt alongside other inputted risk. The search field at the top right hand is great for filtering project names. Risks data will be gone once projects are archived by the project manager. On the calendar module, any assigned or saved deadline should reflect on both the calendar and your events tab. For example, the welcoming of team is set on January 2. Here, it is reflected in the calendar and your events. Now let's try another one, which is the evaluation of progress. You can see it's also prompted here, and checking of analytics, which is also prompted on both sides. Now let's create a new event. The title is Improved UI Design with a Priority of High and a start date of October 25, 2021 and the end date of December 25, 2021. The time is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. with details of improving the interface design. And once created, will prompt on the calendar highlighted as red since the priority level is high. Take note that the blue is low priority, yellow is middle priority, and red is high priority. When I click the deadline in my calendar, it will prompt the details of my saved deadline. The project manager can also edit if they want to. And as you can see, the edited is prompted on both your events and the calendar. Here next is our team collaboration under the discussions module. You can see all prompted discussions. The project manager can create the discussions tab. For example, we are going to create a discussion. The topic title as example Project Valorant Design. The link to the project as Project Valorant. In the description, give your ideas here with the file as instructions and making it available from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Once I click on create, it will be prompted with the other discussions. The project manager and Scrum are able to communicate with one another. Once I click the discussion name with the message, "Hello guys, good morning, what are your ideas?" in which the Scrum member can reply to. Discussions are archived once it reaches the due date or if project manager decides to archive the project itself. Conferences module are where project managers are able to create video conferences with the whole Scrum team. You can see all created conferences here that are saved, like the Team Shopee's conference team room. For example, I will create a new meeting. I will name the meeting name as the team's name. For example, Team X's discussion room, linked to the Project Valorant, with time of 1 p.m. and with the due date of December 12, 2022. Now take note, after the due date, the conference will no longer be available. Next, I will add the description, discuss about the project, and in the bottom, the link to the Gmeet. Once saved, it will prompt with the other joining conferences. Note that when the PM and the Scrum members click the join button, it will automatically redirect them to the Google Meet link. Finally, at the dashboard, as you can see, we have three summarizations: the total number of projects, the total number of Scrum members, and the total number of clients. We have our first data visualization, which is the pie chart, and based on the pie chart, shows the number of projects based on the category of each project, whether it be game, web development, or software development. Our next data visualization is the bar chart. It shows the number of projects that are ongoing, archived, or done. And when we hover our mouse towards the bar, it shows the numerical amount of any ongoing projects. At the bottom, we have the projects or all the list of projects that are ongoing and completed. And once I click the project name, the whole summary of the project should prompt in the project overview tab. Like here, for example, it will prompt all the ongoing projects and done projects. Let's get the example of image encryption using AES algorithm. It showed the details once clicked upon and summarization of the whole project, such as project cost and number of risk, number of discussions, and number of conferences. Last but not least is the report creation module. For that, we must go back to the All Projects module and click on the specific project that we created. On the three dots by the side shows the options. Click on Generate Report and it will generate all the necessary data shared in the project. For example, like the project summary, which has the project type, the person, the start date, the end date, the status, and the project manager. It also adds into account the Scrum report, with the decision to delete certain aspects of the Scrum report. It also generates the team availability with their name and their time available per Scrum member as shown here, the risk report, and the cost report. Finally, if you are satisfied with the report creation, just click on Export and it will give you a downloadable PDF file for you to email your clients. Moving on to the Scrum account. At first, I will log in as a Scrum member, and for this, I have chosen Azure Dumos account. After I put the email and password, the dashboard will automatically pop up. And note that the difference of the project manager's dashboard to the Scrum's dashboard is that the projects tab located at the bottom shows the project on which a Scrum member is ongoing or completed. Take note that once a project is completed, it will automatically be archived. Like in the project manager's dashboard, if I click on the project, the breakdown or overview will show on the side, stating the project type, task number of participants, cost, number of tasks, number of risks, number of discussion, and number of conferences. Welcome to the profile of the Scrum member. In the profile, the data shown is based on the deadlines set at the calendar. So the white boxes here are considered as events, while gray boxes are considered as projects. One specific task will be put on the doing column if they have reached the date. For example, here's the date of the 28th of October. If we are on the 26th day, we will not be proceeded into the doing column just yet. However, if we are at the day after, for example on the 29th, they will be automatically put at the done column. And also, if they are archived, they will be automatically be put on the archive column if the project manager chooses to archive the project. Take note, only projects are put on the archive columns since there are no archive choices for Scrum. The Scrum Members All Project shows his or her assigned projects. Note that Scrum Members have a maximum of 2 projects in which they can view and generate reports. If the condition is met of the 2 maximum projects, his or her name will not be prompted on the list of the team in Project Manager's Create Project module. Scrum members can create their own task and place this at a specific project. For example, Asher's project of Fitness Club. I will add a task name, prepare for deployment, and input the team on which Asher belongs to. I will set the time and due date on November 2. The file is instructions, and then I will add description details. Take note, if the Scrum member did not create the project in the task list, they can only view it. But if they are the owner, they can view and edit it. Tasks are archived when project managers archive the project. In the risk module, Scrum members cannot alter the list since it is automated. Whoever creates the risk is considered the owner of the risk. You can also filter and add a risk event. And of course, they have to fill out and create their own risk, which will be prompted once saved. Risks are archived when project manager archives the project. In the cost module, the only difference is that the costs shown in the Scrum's cost management are the only ongoing projects they are assigned to, and whatever category they are classified in. The equation for the estimation total is the same, garnering from the breakdown total cost. In the calendar module, the difference is that it will assign the projects connected to the Scrum member. With this, take note that the blue color is marked as the due date of the project. Reds are events and activities. And if they also wanted to create a notification or due date for the calendar, it will also prompt on the side and in the calendar itself. Scrums can create their own discussions and add to a specific project. For example, I want to add launching of system to project X and then put the description Hello World, the file link, and the availability. After completing the fields, it will be created. The discussion will be gone once it reaches its due date, or if the project manager has archived the project. In conferences, Scrum members are not allowed to create their own conferences. The only team conference shown are the conferences on which a Scrum member is assigned to based on their project. Once click on the join button, this will redirect them to the Google Meet link. The conference will stop once it reaches its due date or if the project is archived by the project manager. In the report module, Scrums can generate the reports of their own projects. However, these are projects that are assigned to them. Scrum members can also choose to export their project's report as a PDF file to be sent in the email. And last but not least, let us move to the notification shown on top. Notification shows new added projects, new added tasks, new added risks, new added discussion, and new added conference. And once we are satisfied, we can now log out.